You are not supposed to find this. Not now. Not by accident. If this video appeared to you before midnight, it wasn't because the algorithm decided so. It was because something in you responded. Most people will never see this message. They'll scroll past it, ignore it, close the app, return to safe distractions. But you stopped, and that single act, stopping, already says more about you than entire years of most people's lives. There is an invisible difference between those who win and those who merely exist. And that difference is not strength, luck, or talent. It is internal timing. Winners recognize signals when they appear. Losers need proof, and when proof arrives, it's already too late. The question is not why you are here. The question is, will you act like someone who deserved to find this? Because after midnight, something shifts. There is a narrow window, almost imperceptible, where silent decisions define entire life trajectories. Not big, dramatic decisions announced to the world, but internal decisions, made when no one is watching, when there is no applause, when there is no external validation. Most people believe life-changing moments come from major events: a new job, a breakup, a big opportunity. That belief is a comforting illusion. The real turning point happens before that, when no one is paying attention, when nothing externally demands change. And today is not an ordinary day. Today is December 24th. While the world distracts itself with automatic rituals, empty commitments, recycled conversations, there is a specific type of person who enters silence, not to rest, but to recalibrate. These people understand something most never realize. The end of a cycle does not happen on the calendar. It happens in identity. And the identity you sustain until midnight tonight determines how you enter the next cycle. This is not about goals, not about promises, not about hollow resolutions. This is about who you decide to be when nothing is required of you. And that is exactly what this video tests. There is a pattern that separates winners from everyone else. And it does not appear in self-help books, motivational speeches, or inspirational quotes. Winners act before they feel ready. They do not wait for total clarity. They do not wait for emotional safety. They do not need guarantees. They understand that clarity comes after movement, not before. Most people live trapped in an invisible loop. When I feel confident, I'll act. When everything is aligned, I'll start. When I'm sure, I'll change. That moment never comes, because security is a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite. Now consider this. How many times have you deeply felt that something needed to change, but waited? Waited for one more sign, one more confirmation, one more permission. Meanwhile, time passed, and time does not negotiate. Winners are not people without fear. They are people who do not obey fear. They understand that there is an invisible cost to inaction, and that cost is always greater than the risk of action. Today, before midnight, that cost is being silently calculated. Every minute that passes solidifies a version of you. Either the version that reacts, or the version that chooses. There is something almost no one understands about symbolic dates like this. They do not create transformation. They reveal who was already prepared. Christmas does not change people. It amplifies them. It amplifies those who live on autopilot. And it amplifies those who live awake. While many numb themselves with noise, food, alcohol, and distraction, a few enter deep observation. They ask different questions, dangerous questions. Am I living below my potential? Am I being honest with myself? If everything stays exactly the same, where will I be in 1 year? These questions are not comfortable. That is why almost no one asks them. But winners know this. Conscious discomfort is always better than late regret. There is a hard truth that must be said. The world does not reward intention. It rewards identity. You do not receive what you want. You receive what matches who you are right now. And identity does not change through positive thinking. It changes through decisions sustained in silence. The shift happens when you act like someone who no longer tolerates their own mediocrity, even before results exist to justify it. That is why so many fail. They want evidence before commitment. Winners do the opposite. They commit first and let reality catch up. There is a precise moment when most people quit. Not when it hurts the most, but when nothing has happened yet, when effort has not been rewarded, when no one noticed, when there was no immediate return. That is the exact point where the old identity tries to pull you back. And that is where the game separates the ordinary from the rare. You are not here for motivation. Motivation is weak. You are here for internal recognition. Some part of you knows there is more. More focus, more discipline, more personal power, more control over your own mind. And that part is tired of negotiating with the smaller version of you. Before midnight, a silent choice is available. Continue being someone who reacts to the world, or become someone who imposes direction. That choice does not require announcements. It does not require posting. It does not require approval. It requires only one thing: internal coherence. Coherence between what you know and what you do. Because knowledge without action is not wisdom. It is sophisticated self-deception. Winners do not consume messages like this to feel good. They use them as alignment triggers. They do not ask, "Did this motivate me?" They ask, "Did this confront me?" And if something here unsettled you, good. It means it touched the right place. The discomfort you feel now is not anxiety. It is the old identity resisting its own dissolution. It knows that after today, certain excuses will no longer work. There is a reason this video says, "Watch before midnight." Not because something magical happens on the clock, but because the human mind respects markers. And winners use markers to end old versions of themselves. Before midnight, you can decide, silently, that some things are over. Over with procrastination disguised as planning. Over with waiting for external validation. Over with negotiating with habits that sabotage your potential. Not emotionally, coldly. Because discipline is not aggressive, it is clear. You do not need to change everything today, but you must choose one thing that will no longer be tolerated. One behavior, one pattern, one recurring excuse. Winners do not change everything at once. They eliminate one thing at a time and never go back. If you made it this far, do what most people never do. Pause for 1 minute after the video ends. No phone, no distraction. And decide who you will no longer be as you enter the next cycle. That decision does not need to be shared. It only needs to be honored. Because in the end, winning is not about arriving faster. It is about not betraying yourself along the way. And people who do not betray themselves always arrive. Before midnight, the game is still open. After that, it simply continues, with those who had the courage to choose. The final question is not whether you understood. It is whether you will act like someone who deserved to find this video. The rest is consequence.